The next morning, we were ready to put the Ice Age behind us and jump feet first into the Cold War. We were headed north, about 40 miles to the beautiful Simi Valley, to visit Ronald Reagan. A sign welcomed us to his presidential library and museum. We found it overlooking a rugged landscape that seemed tailor-made for Western movies. And we joined the flow of visitors who have numbered more than 5 million since the museum opened in 1991. At the entrance, we were greeted not by the president, but by his wife and First Lady, Nancy Davis Reagan, a former actress who was not to be upstaged. The dramatic entryway inside led us directly to the first couple, and I was invited to join them. A holographic image of the president gave us some historical context.
As well, Mother Teresa visited this room. So did Margaret Thatcher and Mikhail Gorbachev. Unfortunately, for all the power possessed by an American president, there are some things beyond his control.
24 galleries told the story of Ronald Reagan's youth, college years, Hollywood stardom, 2 terms as California governor, and key events of his presidency. In a notable trip to Berlin, President Reagan called out, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall." 2 years later, the wall came down as the Cold War ended, and the first major pieces of the wall were brought out of Germany to be displayed at the Reagan Museum. But not to be outdone, gowns of the First Lady were also on display. Parts of the museum were interactive. Here I got to try making an inaugural address using a teleprompter. I must have done well. The Oval Office was awaiting me. Actually, the museum features a full-size replica of Ronald Reagan's Oval Office. It's decorated in warm, earthy colors and Western art. When we entered the main pavilion next to the museum, there was a large private event taking place. It turned out to be an FBI luncheon, and we weren't invited. The diners were gathered under the nose of a Boeing 707, which turned out to be the very Air Force One that had flown 7 U.S. presidents, from Nixon to George H.W. Bush. The Reagan Library offered to build a hangar for it, and that was no small undertaking, since its length is 153 feet. About half the length of a football field. When the plane was decommissioned, it was disassembled, brought here in sections by truck, and reassembled. The pavilion was only partly finished, and the final wall was added once the plane was inside. Now is the chance we had been waiting for, an opportunity to go aboard and look around. Air Force One could fly at 42,000 feet, and had a range of more than 7,600 miles. Tony seems to be making himself right at home. This office isn't oval, but we can guess its likely occupant. And he's never far from his beloved jelly beans. The conference room looks ready for business. And an ever-present military aid is close at hand. The plane can hold up to 52 passengers, plus crew, but this tiny gallery hardly seems adequate to serve them. Beyond Air Force One, the Reagan Museum also displays Marine One, the presidential helicopter used for short hauls for up to 15 passengers. Vehicles used in the president's motorcade are also on display. Talk about vanity plates. We went outside to visit the gravesite of our nation's 40th president and Mrs. Reagan. He passed away in 2004 after battling Alzheimer's disease in the last years of his life. She died nearly 12 years later in 2016. Nearby is a recreation of the White House Rose Garden. and the view behind it is stunning. Take a look. There was a close call in the fall of 2019, however, when a brush fire disrupted internet communications at the museum and spoiled the landscaping. Fortunately, the damage was modest, and Ronald Reagan's shining city on a hill continues to inspire.